The following is a Cable 14 special presentation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Hamilton Senior of the Year Awards. I'm Darren Laidman.
And I'm Connie Smith. So excited to see you again, Darren.
Wonderful to be here,
To
yes.
be together again and honor and celebrate the contributions of 14 volunteers and announce this year's award recipients.
Now, before we get started, we would like to acknowledge that the city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. Now, this land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Bell Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabeg to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes.
We further acknowledge that this land covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase of 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the city of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, North America, and we recognize that we must keep learning more about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers.
Now, this is the 26th year we are celebrating and recognizing Hamilton citizens age 65 plus who have voluntarily contributed to the social, cultural, or civic life of the community. All nominees are evaluated for the Senior of the Year Award by a group of community judges. And in no particular order, throughout the evening, we will be showcasing video interviews with all the nominees.
And 26 years, Darren, is quite a legacy of celebration and achievement for our community. Let's begin by welcoming from Hamilton City Hall, Mayor Fred Eisenberger.
Congratulations on behalf of Council to all nominees and award recipients. The award celebrates seniors in our city who enrich the social, cultural, or civic life of our community. Volunteers are what drive and support many organizations. Senior volunteers are a large majority of those volunteers whose wisdom, skills, and experience are so valuable. The city's vision represents what we as a community aspire to, and that is to be the best place to raise a child and age successfully. This means having an inclusive community that is actively engaged in making Hamilton a better place for everyone, creating an accessible environment, and supporting residents through all of life stages. Our city has been recognized for the important role that volunteers have and continue to play in building our community. Volunteering and serving others is essential to realizing our aspiration of being that place where people can and will age successfully. In partnership with the Senior Advisory Committee and Hamilton's Council on Aging, as well as consultation with over 4,000 older adults and other stakeholders, the city launched Hamilton's second age-friendly plan this past spring. The Seniors Award aligns with the age-friendly goal of civic engagement to ensure that older adults have meaningful volunteer opportunities. And while celebrating virtually is different, it should not take away from recognizing and celebrating the important contributions of seniors in our community. Many senior volunteers were unable to volunteer for organizations this past year due to restrictions, but some were able to continue, which we know was key in getting through this pandemic. Thank you everyone for generously volunteering your time. It is greatly appreciated. Congratulations once again to all of this year's Seniors of the Year Award nominees and award recipients.
Thank you, Mayor Fred, and we begin this year's Senior of the Year Awards in the category of Youth Supporting Seniors Award. And this award is designed to recognize a youth volunteer who has demonstrated excellence in support and service, commitment to the community, and dedication to volunteerism, specifically for seniors.
And for the past 5 years, this recipient has been an outstanding youth volunteer dedicated to the YWCA Hamilton. More recently, this young volunteer spent time delivering care packages, treat bags, and mailouts to isolated seniors during the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to announce that Kiara Meck is the recipient of the 2021 Youth Supporting Seniors Award. Now let's take a look at Kiara's nominee video and learn a little more about why she deserves this recognition.
I believe it's important to recognize those who volunteer in the community because it's such an empowering community And there are so many activities that could not have run without volunteers that help out, not only with those who volunteer, but the outcome that happens with volunteering. You see so many people that are brightened by their day. You realize how much of an impact that you make towards them from even the small amount of things that you do, whereas a few hours to me every day using some of my energy and time could be extreme for those who are participating in these activities or programs that I'm volunteering for. I have done a lot of volunteering with the YWCA in Hamilton, as well as I volunteered with my school at St. Thomas More, and in Muskoka, as well as in Rockwood for Camp Rebuff. For the YWCA of Hamilton, I have consecutively been volunteering for the Encore program as well as Women of Distinction. You can find volunteering at so many different places around your community that you may not even be aware of. And there are so many great groups, you meet so many great people, and the impact that you have on the folks that are part of these programs is just life-changing.
Congratulations to Kiera Meck for this great recognition. And now our second category this year is the Ron Smithson Leadership Award. This leadership award recognizes a senior who consistently demonstrates dedication, motivation, and a positive attitude. This individual acts as a role model and inspires commitment from others to reach goals and accomplishments. The volunteer is passionate about serving others and demonstrates excellent skills in serving to both internal and external customers. This individual possesses outstanding attributes such as a can-do attitude, excellent communication skills, resourcefulness, creativity, reliability, and overall passion within their volunteer role. And this volunteer, after saying all that, sets a high level integrity by leading through example.
So, Darren, let's take a look at a couple of our nominees, then announce this year's recipient of the Ron Smithson Leadership Award.
The society needs contributions from people of all ages in order to be strong. I think it's important to recognize volunteers, especially senior volunteers, because there's so much ageism in our society and many older people feel rather invisible. And I think stories about seniors volunteering, it raises the expectations about what aging is like in our society and helps us understand the contributions that seniors do make. And even more importantly, I think stories about the volunteers helps in recruiting new seniors to participate in civic engagement and various aspects of volunteering. We know that volunteering is very good for health, physical health and mental health, and social health, which is especially important nowadays. We've created this group, Hamilton Aging in Community, to promote resilient aging, especially with community aspects, promoting alternative housing alternatives and all the ways that seniors can support each other, and also work with younger people. One of the big assets of working with Hamilton Aging in Community is our work with young people, with mostly students, but other young people as well. And there's great energy when younger and older people get together.
I think there are a number of volunteers in the community who do a lot of good work, and they do it because they enjoy it. I'm a family physician in Dundas. And over the years, as my practice developed, I started taking interest in the care of the elderly, in the geriatric population, and along with that came working in the nursing homes in Hamilton. So I do a lot of research and I teach students, and mainly focusing on the elderly and the family medicine. But I started an organization called Long-Term Care Clinicians Interest Group, which is getting all the 27 long-term care facilities in Hamilton together to look at issues that have to do with nursing home, that's mainly to do with the elderly. There is so much to be done in this community or even internationally that does not get done by whoever. And I think so we need to do some of that work.
And this year's recipient Well, he is committed to advancing geriatric medicine through his many voluntary initiatives with both professional and international organizations. More recently, this individual voluntarily led the development of the LTC Cares Long-Term Care Consults and Recommendations for Emergency and Support Services program in Hamilton. That's a virtual care program linking residents and staff in long-term care with emergency room services virtually. This new program was formed in direct response to the pandemic and has helped many seniors avoid unnecessary trips to emergency rooms. It is my pleasure to announce the 2021 Ron Smithson Leadership Award recipient, Dr. Kanwal Shenkardas.
Congratulations to this year's Ron Smithson Leadership Award winner, Dr. Kanwal Shenkardas. We're going to take a very short break. Stay with us. Next up is the Innovation Award, and this award celebrates innovation through the creation of new or different programs or services that have had a significant impact on the community and or affect the lives of seniors in the city of Hamilton.
So let's take a look at two more of this year's nominees and the volunteer contributions they have made to this community. Then we'll announce the 2021 Innovation Award recipient.
This is Sarah. Hi. Yeah, she's great. She's main focus of my Sunday school classes at St. James United Church in Waterdown. Do you think it's important that senior volunteers be recognized, Sarah? I do. Well, what do you think? What should we do? Well, like you're a teacher. I'm a retired teacher, that's right, and I have a lot of skills. We have a lot of heart in everything we do. We love children, but you know, we work with families when we're teachers. So it's the same thing for all seniors, whatever they have been in their careers. They have so much to do and to offer to other people, and they don't expect when they've retired with their volunteer work that, you know, somebody's going to give them like a gold star, right? No, not at all. They just think that it's something they want to do. You know, it gives them fulfillment, and it's just important to themselves without being totally recognized. But to be recognized is, hooray! It's good stuff, isn't it? We love to be recognized, of course. If people can see what volunteers are doing, they might get on board. They don't know, like Habitat for Humanity, how do you do that? I don't know how to do a hammer. Do you? Well, she taught me how to do it, okay. So yeah, we've done things like Habitat for Humanity in Waterdown area, and if you get into something that you find is interesting, people will just, you know, put their arms around you, draw you in, and show you how to do it.
Well, I think it's important to recognize people, but more importantly to recognize the organizations they work for. And by telling their stories, I think that helps the community become better aware of resources that are available in the community. So thinking about the Cancer Assistance Program, many people don't know of its existence or what we do. But by recognizing people who volunteered for CAP, as we call it, they become aware of some of those resources. And when a time of need arises for themselves or for loved ones or friends, they'll have an awareness that here's a service in our community that can help them out. Well, I guess the innovation is introducing podcasts, because the services they were providing before were more physical in nature, rides, equipment. We came to realize that there was a real need to educate the public about cancer, about the progress being made in cancer, to give the populace a more hopeful attitude towards cancer, and to showcase the incredible talent we have here in Hamilton. So if you have a diagnosis of cancer, there's just excellent resources for diagnosis and treatment in this city between our hospitals and the cancer centers. And so you see these stories. I had them personally by making these phone calls. It just underscored to me the value of volunteering and giving back to this community.
What incredible accomplishments by both of these individuals. This year's Innovation Award recipient joined the Cancer Assistance Program, that's CAP, volunteer board 7 years ago, offering his knowledge and platform to bring education to the public. He launched the Cancer Assist radio show in partnership with Chorus Radio to broadcast monthly cancer education programs. The show transitioned to a podcast format to extend its reach, now streamed in over 200 cities throughout Canada and the United States. The 2021 Innovation Award recipient for his contributions to cancer information and education here in Hamilton, a very nice man, Dr. Bill Evans.
So incredible. Congratulations to Dr. Bill Evans. And up next is the Mary Smithson Compassion and Companionship Award. Now this recognition is awarded to a volunteer who demonstrates fellowship and friendship through both verbal and nonverbal behaviors, such as a smile or a handshake. They actively listen to others while demonstrating empathy and concern. This person is someone who is quick to advocate and support those most vulnerable within our community.
All about the power of a smile, Darren. Let's take a look at two more of our dynamic nominees. Then we'll find out who is the recipient of the 2021 Mary Smithson Compassion and Companionship Award.
I think it's important to celebrate seniors who volunteer in the community because it encourages other seniors to volunteer. I mean, my affirmation really isn't an award. My affirmation is the thanks from the clients and also the fact that I feel that I'm doing something worthwhile. I really lucked out when I found the Cancer Assistance Program because it's such a great organization, and again, I feel like I'm doing something worthwhile for the community, for people who really need help. I mean, some of our clients, if they had to get to the hospital for their treatments on their own, they'd be stuck. There are so many people in the community in need and don't have the supports that they need. They might not have family members to help step up. So volunteer organizations, and there are many of them, and a lot of them, most of them are great. They're there to provide people with what they need. And our clients need rides, and they need equipment delivered, and they need also a friendly ear. The drives back and forth to the appointments are a big part of it, I feel, and you know, we make connections with people, and we have regular clients that we look forward to seeing again, and I think they feel the same way about us.
We have a lot of outstanding people in our seniors in our community who work tirelessly in our community to help other people, and very often they don't get recognized. By recognizing them, I think we then show them that we appreciate what they're doing for us. I joined the Legion of Mary in church, and we used to go around helping people. I was elected to be on the first parish council at St. Francis Xavier in Stony Creek. My wife and I were Eucharistic ministers, and we gave out communion in the church. And then in the last 3 years, we decided that we would go to a nursing home or a retirement home and give out communion there for the people who are shut in and aged. Now, you may not see them, but if you go out looking for them, and these people are very appreciative. Like in our church, we do give, once a year we had a Christmas party for all the needy kids in our family. And to see the smiles on their faces when they got a toy at Christmas time, they wouldn't have had a Christmas if it wasn't for us.
Some incredible accomplishments and a wonderful embodiment of this award namesake being represented there. And it's big congratulations to the man who every week throughout the pandemic visits long-term care residents at Heritage Green, Clarion and Ridgeview to ensure they did not feel isolated or lonely, has provided support and health advice to the families and staff, always putting the needs of others before his own, and has dedicated nearly 40 years to St. Francis Xavier Parish in Stony Creek as a Eucharistic minister. Dr. Al Fernandez is this year's Mary Smithson Compassion and Companionship Award recipient.
Such a great recognition for Dr. Fernandez. Congratulations. And our next award is the Healthy and Active Living Award. This award is given to a senior volunteer who has assisted an organization to become or remain active and has been instrumental in implementing healthy lifestyle programming. This individual has helped remove barriers and/or open doors to encourage involvement and participation within an organization.
All right, let's meet two more nominees, then the one who will lay claim to this year's Healthy and Active Living Award.
Volunteers, I don't think, seek recognition, but it's important for us to recognize them, to highlight the important work that they do in the community, and also to show others who might be interested and have time and experience who could step forward as well. Well, I think I've sort of volunteered most of my life. I sort of started with various groups within the church I attend, but I also spent 30+ years in the scouting movement. In the last 5 years, I've joined some wonderful people at the Wesley Holiday Store, great volunteers who provide a wonderful service, and I particularly enjoy helping people in need at that time of year. It certainly enhances the community. The volunteers, I think Hamilton is noted as having a lot of volunteers, but also too it helps the individual. And speaking maybe for seniors, I think it's a great way for us to give back to our communities. I know I received a lot of benefits and opportunities in Hamilton, and it's a way for us to give back.
I think it's important for people to be recognized for their volunteering for a couple of reasons. One, I think, is it allows people to have a sense that they're valued for the contribution, because when we worked, we used to get a paycheck, and that was sort of part of how we were valued. But with volunteering, I think it's really important to hear how what we do contributes to the whole picture. So oftentimes we just do one little piece of a program, but how that piece helps the whole program at large, I think it's really important. And I think that when we share our stories, it also gives you a firsthand view of what the volunteering is all about. What I enjoy is kind of more instant gratification. With the tutoring program that I'm with Neighbor to Neighbor, as well as for a while I contributed to the community kitchens, which is on Lime Ridge Road. And so at that moment, you interact with people and you see how happy they are to be sitting together, sharing food. The students that I tutor are between grades 1 and 3, and they are so funny. So immediately you see whether they're enjoying the reading and whether they've understood. And so I think that kind of instant feedback is so wonderful. Many of our programs in our community are in not-for-profit, and many of them rely on volunteers and the commitment of volunteers in order to be successful.
Two exceptional individuals. As for this year's recipient, well, for nearly 2 decades, this person has held at least 13 volunteer roles with 6 organizations, including Neighbor to Neighbor, where she has been a literacy tutor for approximately 40 children and instrumental in updating the program to benefit 120 volunteers and 2,380 students. Also at End-to-End's community food program, she has worked with the age-diverse meal prep team, focusing on food traditions and healthy eating. Patty Inoue is this year's Healthy and Active Living Award recipient.
Amazing. Congratulations, Patty. And now we turn our attention to Economic Leadership Award. Now, this award goes to a senior volunteer whose financial management leadership and/or fundraising efforts have contributed to the livelihood of a local organization. This volunteer is someone who has helped lead the way or has made great strides in accomplishing the financial goals of the organization they volunteer with.
This year's recipient is someone who has volunteered countless hours over the last decade for the Hamilton Malayali Samajam, helped secure government and future grant funding for the organization, which over the course of 10 years amounts to more than $700,000. The 2021 Economic Leadership Award goes to Matthew Kavanagh. To learn more about Matthew's efforts as an economic leader, let's take a look at his profile video.
Important to volunteer is, especially in my case, I am a retired person, okay? I really enjoy. And not only that, in my community where I serve, okay, most of the people are working, and we have a big community hall to keep up. And by volunteering, we are serving the whole community of around 500 people. We bought a school, 1,600 square feet, and maintenance wasn't easy. So only by voluntary work, we were several people, including my wife, we were volunteering. We constructed the kitchen. I did the tile works. I did the painting. We did carpentry work to make the stage. And my wife used to cook for the whole group. And we have 4 or 5 important functions in a year. I'm not a guy who publicizes, because my principle is whatever I do, my right hand shouldn't be known to the left hand. But every people is different, okay? Some people like, okay, of course, if I know, okay, is the community recognize me, what I am doing, that's a really good encouragement for the people so that they can come more and more to this activity.
Congratulations to Matthew and all of our nominees and award recipients so far this evening. And when we come back from break, we'll present our final 3 awards, the Behind the Scenes Award, the Bernie Morelli Lifetime Achievement Award, and we will announce the 2021 Hamilton Senior of the Year. Welcome back to the 2021 Hamilton Senior of the Year Awards. And the next award is Behind the Scenes Award. And it recognizes a volunteer who is not highly visible, but is always there, willing to assist in any way possible to better their community. The individual is dedicated to helping the community grow, prosper, and enhance the quality of life of those who live and visit the city of Hamilton.
Before we announce the 2021 Behind the Scenes Award recipient, let's take a look at 2 more of this year's nominees.
I walk, I pick up litter of every kind, I talk to some of the regulars that we see, people walking their dog, mothers with children in a carriage or a stroller, and so it's a social thing as well as accomplishing something that's worthwhile. I think it's important to recognize people because it does provide encouragement. The recognition, I think, is very positive, and hopefully what happens then is that there are more and more people contributing, volunteering, and helping the community. And if it's going to change, if it's going to be, it's up to me. So I started, and I've been doing it every day. I tell everybody, every day that ends in D-A-Y. Have 2 bags. One is for actual garbage, litter. The other one is for recycling. I am an avid recycler, so if it can be recycled, I pick that up and put it in the one bag. If it's just absolute garbage, then I'll put it in the other. We all have a contribution to make.
Gene Fama has been a volunteer with Habitat for Humanity Hamilton in our Restore for 11 years. And over that time, he has donated 650 hours and more to our organization by helping us in our Restore. He's worked in our Fix-It shop, in our store. And in our Fix-It shop, volunteers help with repairing, testing, assembling, donations that have come to us. It's a really important role, and volunteers like Gene really are very important to the overall operations and success of our store. I believe that one of the most important gifts a person can give you is their time. And our volunteers are very generous with their time, their skills, and their ability. And recognizing them is our way of saying thank you and a way to show our appreciation for them sharing their valuable resources with us. I find that our seniors who volunteer with us come with a lifetime and a wealth of knowledge. And that knowledge they can share with other volunteers, and they can also share it with our Restore staff. And with our organization, they're able to share it with our future homeowners. So all of our future homeowners are required to complete volunteer hours with us. And they also learn some skills and abilities and just some hands-on time with maybe some tools that they might not have had the opportunity to learn before. So we're really trying to set our homeowners up for long-term success. And our volunteers who've had experience with maybe owning their own home or doing some minor repairs are really important in helping them build the confidence and the skills that they'll need in order to be successful.
Tremendous appreciation for the volunteer contributions of these nominees. As for this year's recipient, well, this person has volunteered with Habitat for Humanity in the Hamilton Restore for more than 2 decades as an extremely dedicated volunteer whose technical abilities to test and repair and repurpose donated items goes above and beyond. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2021 Behind the Scenes Award goes to Jean Fama.
Great work, Jean, and congratulations to all of tonight's winners and nominees. And as we're nearing the end of this year's celebration, we bring our focus to the Bernie Morelli Lifetime Achievement Award. This recognition highlights a senior volunteer who has demonstrated excellence in long-term service, commitment to the community, and dedication to volunteerism.
While there are many great volunteers dedicated to volunteerism in our community, this year's recipient was a driving force in establishing the Cancer Assistance Program, CAP, for the Hamilton Mountain. For 27 years, she has helped ensure cancer education and free support were available to any and everyone. As a 45-year survivor herself, she has also volunteered for the Canadian Cancer Society as a palliative care volunteer for Henderson Hospital, the Hamilton Psychiatric Hospital, and St. Joseph's Villa. We applaud Helena Stroon, the 2021 Bernie Morelli Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Let's learn more about Helena's lifetime journey of volunteerism through her awards profile.
It started when I was still a young girl. I worked with children that were from homes that are not as good as our homes that we were used to. And then the Cancer Assistance Program, and before that the Cancer Society. Before COVID, I had a special day that I would go into the office. And that fell away when COVID started. And then you don't meet your friends, you don't meet the other volunteers, you don't meet the staff anymore. And it's a big loss. Why people want to be recognized as a volunteer is, in my opinion, to know that the organization appreciates what they are doing. It's important to volunteer in your community because it is easier to see the needs of the community you live in.
Congratulations, Helena, on your lifetime dedication to volunteerism. You've created quite a legacy of service in our community. And the final award of our presentation is the Senior of the Year Award. Now, all nominees for this award category must be age 65 or older and have fulfilled their volunteer service after this age. They will have contributed to the social, cultural, or civic life of the Hamilton community without personal or financial gain and have not been a recipient of this award in the past. They will have also resided in the city of Hamilton over the past 5 years and are currently a resident of the city of Hamilton.
This is the biggie, Darren. This year, we celebrate an individual who began volunteering shortly after moving to Hamilton 10-15 years ago and became a key player with the Seniors Advisory Committee, SAC, and Hamilton Council on Aging. She served as chair for SAC's Getting Around Hamilton work group and gold champion for transportation with Hamilton's Age-Friendly Collaborative Committee. She worked with City Lab on the Transit Options in Rural Hamilton report for City Council, on workshops on pedestrian safety for older adults, creating pamphlets for renters, property managers, and homeowners on ways to support seniors. She has also written op-ed articles published in the Hamilton Spectator and recently partnered with Cable 14 to create, produce, and host a 4-part series, Aging in Hamilton. We are honored to announce and introduce this year's 2021 Senior of the Year, Jean Mayo.
I think most of us who do volunteer are not looking for the recognition. I mean, we're volunteering because we enjoy what we're doing. But I think it's important that the community recognizes volunteers, and especially seniors, because seniors, of course, have perhaps more difficulty in volunteering for, you know, health reasons, or perhaps where they want to volunteer is far away and they can't get there, and so on. So I think the effort that seniors make to volunteer it's more of an effort. And so that's why I think the recognition is very important. But when I came to Hamilton, of course, I didn't know anyone. And that's one thing that is a positive for volunteering, because you can volunteer and, you know, there you're meeting people. Whereas if you don't have the opportunity to be part of something, then it's a very lonely experience, especially if you're an older person. As a volunteer, you get exposed to a lot more variety of situations and people, and I think that's only enriching.
Congratulations to this year's Senior of the Year winner, Jean Mayo, and all other award recipients and nominees.
Darren, it's been such an honor to celebrate these incredible individuals who keep raising the bar for how we can all make our part of the world a better, kinder place.
And we invite you to learn more about these awards and those who have been recognized in our community by visiting the City of Hamilton website at hamilton.ca.
Darren, again, it's been great to co-anchor with you.
I feel the same. This has been such an honor to be part of this.
And so much fun. And thank you all for watching and joining us. Stay safe.